Now, for those of you guys that have been following along on my journey for a while now, you know that I've been basically buying as many different dividend-paying stocks and ETFs over the past 7 or 8 years, building a long-term portfolio that's hopefully going to pay for all my expenses in the future and then some. And although, of course, over the years I've seen major success and some mistakes, the portfolio that you can see right here on the screen is an accumulation of all the different stocks and ETFs that I've been purchasing over the past several years. Now in this video, I want to share with you guys a brand new all-time high milestone that my long-term portfolio just hit as of recently, over $7,000 on average per month in dividends. I want to go through and share with you every single position, every single stock and ETF that I'm currently holding throughout the portfolio as of right now. So if you want to see a behind the scenes looks inside of a 7-figure portfolio that's currently paying me over $7,000 on average per month, make sure to stick around, drop a like down below, and let's get right into it. Real quick, for those that haven't already, make sure to go to the first link in my description and grab my new dividend investing ebook, where I share exactly how I went from $0 invested to now earning over $6,000 on a monthly basis and over $1 million invested in the markets. Along with the ebook, you're also going to receive my custom dividend tracker, where you can track your dividend progress on an ongoing basis and reach your dividend investing goals. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. Now again, for those of you guys that might be new to my channel, welcome, of course. Like I said, I've been investing now in dividend paying stocks and ETFs for around 7 or 8 years. And just like any other dividend investor out there, I started off investing in just a few shares of different dividend paying stocks, and over time built out the positions, bought more dividend paying stocks and ETFs, etc. Now, for those of you that have seen my videos before, I just as of recently have added some brand new positions to my portfolio, so you're going to want to stick around. So the first position in my portfolio is none other than BlackRock Enhanced Equity Dividend Trust, or ticker symbol BDJ, which I currently have around 1,756 shares of. Next, I have almost 1,500 shares of Devo ETF, which is one of my favorite long-term positions. I then have my 1,262 shares of Verizon stock. I then have my 1,000 shares of Apple stock. I still have my 2,734 shares of QLD. I then have my 2,700 plus shares of Realty Income. I did just as recently have some Realty Income shares get called away because I do sell covered calls on a portion of my Realty Income holdings, but I'm still basically closing in on 3,000 shares of ticker symbol LOW, which is awesome. And then I have 1,218 shares of JetB, something around there. We have 748 shares of Enterprise Product Partners. We then have 700 shares of BST, 600 shares of MPW. Then we have 510 shares of JEPQ, which I haven't added to as of recently. We have a brand new position, ZIVB, which is a short VIX futures ETF. 1 share of that. Then I have 246 shares of NewC. I have 194 shares of XYLD. We have 668 shares of SEHD. So we are officially closing in on 700 shares. And as you guys know, I've been trying really hard to build this position up to 1,000 shares over this last year. And even though I don't think we're necessarily going to hit 1,000 shares, we still will probably hit around 700 or 750, which is still very, very good. We then have 311 shares of All True Group, which has been performing amazing as of recently. We have 261 shares of Triple N REIT. We have 100 shares of JP Morgan. We have 293 shares of Vici Properties. We have around 59 shares of KMI, around 256 shares of Matrix Capital. We have a small position of Walgreens, which I actually think I did sell off, so I might have to update this one. We have some WP Carry, 351 shares of that. We have 47 shares of PNW. We have 255 shares still of TSLY. We have 24 shares of UPS left. We have 20 shares of PBA, 18 shares of Arbor Realty Trust. We have our 16 shares of Extra Space Storage. We have our 17 shares of Simon Property Group. We have 370 shares of SVOL, which I did actually buy some more of this as of recently. I'm going to have to update this, but I have been stacking up more and more SVOL over the past several weeks. Then we have 9 shares of Stag Industrial. We have around 8 shares of T-Row, 19 shares of KMB, 3192 of VNQ, 200 of KO. We have 700 of PSA. We have 578 of SPYI, one of my new favorite covered call positions, of course. We have 12 shares of FEPI. I have been grabbing a little bit more FEPI as of recently. We have 2 shares of DGRW. We have 4 shares of FDVV, 4 shares of EIG, and a brand new position I just grabbed as of recently, SPYT. We have 100 shares of that one. So throughout the portfolio, as you can see, there's certain positions that are going to be higher yielding, certain ones that are going to have more growth potential, and certain positions that offer a little bit of both. And this is because for me personally, my strategy is, as of right now, to get my total monthly dividend income up as large as possible in a safe manner, meaning that I'm not necessarily going to sacrifice quality in the portfolio just to get a higher number as far as dividend income goes. But with that being said, I still am shooting for this number to go up as fast as possible, but still without buying into dividend traps, dividend yields, etc. Now also, as I build this portfolio out and as I shape this thing over the years, there's going to be certain positions that I'm likely going to cut off, whether it's at a loss or whether it's hopefully at a profit, and keep molding the portfolio into a newer portfolio as time goes on. Now this is maybe due to things like me changing my mind on certain positions, or things like dividend cuts, or just different outlooks on different ETFs and stocks throughout the portfolio. But as you can see, over time I've been sort of consolidating things, moving a lot of my cash balance into things like SCHD, more high quality dividend growth ETFs, or other high quality ETFs like JEPQ and others. Now, I also think it's important to say that a lot of the different positions of my portfolio, a lot of the single stocks, I do sell covered calls on, things like Verizon stock, things like Realty Income, like I mentioned earlier. So even though this portfolio might seem a little bit risky, the fact that I do have a lot of single positions that aren't, of course, very diversified, I do sell covered calls on a lot of the single positions. So even though that's going to cap the upside, it is going to help me with some downside protection if, of course, the market tanks. But longer term, throughout the rest of 2024 and heading into 2025, I'm going to be doing more of the same, buying high quality diversified ETFs, whether they're covered call ETFs or whether they're dividend growth ETFs, and stacking up as many dollars forward as far as monthly total dividend income as possible. Now lastly, just as sort of a bonus for those of you guys that are still watching this video, and if you are still watching, make sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe, because I do give you a transparent look inside of a 7-figure portfolio, which is kind of rare to come by on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe. But just as a little bit of a bonus, I wanted to actually go into one of my many different portfolios and show you some of the dividends that I receive on a consistent basis, just to give you guys an idea of what things look like. Again, not saying that I have the largest portfolio on YouTube, not saying that I have the largest portfolio in the world, but just being transparent and showing you how things look. So this is just over the last few weeks. As you can see, I got an SPYI dividend for $269. I got a QQQI dividend for around 64 cents. There's different stocks and ETFs throughout my portfolio that, depending on their frequency, are going to pay me anywhere from a few dollars on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. And then, of course, there's certain positions like Realty Income that, regardless on whatever portfolio my Realty Income is in, now I'm earning upwards of hundreds of dollars because I do have hundreds and hundreds of shares spread throughout multiple portfolios. Now, the cool thing about building a long-term dividend-paying portfolio like this is, as you can see over time, as you stack up more and more shares of different stocks and ETFs, you're going to get to a point to where you're basically earning enough cash balance in your portfolio to pay for all of your different purchases ongoingly, as far as purchasing more dividend-paying stocks and ETFs. So honestly, it's been a while since I've even done a deposit into my portfolio. I don't really use any of my active income anymore to even buy more stocks and ETFs. And I'll tell you, I buy a lot of stocks and ETFs on a consistent basis. Basically, every single trading day in the markets, I'm using different money that's coming in throughout this portfolio to purchase more shares, which are of course going to give me more and more dividends, and that's basically how the dividend snowball effect happens. Now, of course, if I were to take some of my active income ongoingly on top of this, that's only going to speed up the process even faster, which is why sometimes I do still go ahead and add some deposits into my portfolio. But I just want to give you guys an idea of what things look like after around 7 or 8 years of investing consistently. And this is just one of my portfolios. Like I said, I do have multiple portfolios with different holdings in it. But as you can see, there's going to be positions that are going to be paying me very consistently, which is going to give me enough cash balance to really allow me to buy a lot more stocks and ETFs consistently, which just as of recently, I have to admit, is really allowing me to feel the power of compounding really take place. Now, don't get me wrong, there was a time where I was just earning a few dollars into this portfolio, and honestly, even back then, it was just as motivating as it is now. So now that we went through my entire 7-figure portfolio, I shared with you guys my brand new milestone of reaching $7,000 plus per month in dividends, which I'm super excited about. I lastly want to hear from you guys down below. What is the #1 stock or ETF that you've been purchasing throughout 2024 that you think I should look into? Drop the ticker symbol in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like on it and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.